In today's episode, we talk about Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. They had an interview together today. It just came out today, and while watching it, we learned some interesting things. Candace went on not only to talk about what's going on with Epstein, what happened with Harvey Weinstein and his trial, Michael Jackson. Man, she covered so many topics. But what we're going to touch on today is one that we touched on, I think, for my first episode, or one of my first videos that I made for this channel, and it's about the Epstein-Israel connection. So I wanted to keep it with that. I want to just make sure that we circle back around on what's going on, because there's a lot still that needs to be uncovered. So as you guys know, my purpose is to bring you information, from someone that looks like you, what I hope most of my viewers and, the audience that I attract. And even if they don't look like me or, dress like me or talk like me, I want to, get multiple eyes on me. But, hopefully when they see me, they stop and pay a little attention. And what this guy got to talk about? What does this guy want to say? So I got a lot to say. And right now we're going to get into this clip where Candace Owens, she talks about her thoughts about Israel. So I'm not gonna hold it up too much. We're gonna get right into it. Let me get this set up, and then we'll transition over into what she has to say.
I try to take on as many as I can. Right now I'm obviously very much interested in the Epstein case. And so that's where I'm focusing my attention, the Epstein case.
What do you think that was? The Epstein case?
I would say Israel, obviously. And again, I'm so tired of us being gaslit. It's the dumbest gaslighting of all time. On record, okay, when Pam Bondi said,
I
can't even, this was just a moment where I was like, okay, like, F you, you guys hate us. Like, you have so much power. Why don't you just come out and say, na boo boo, you can't touch us, F you. I would rather you do that, right?
Yes.
Than put on this pretense of a conference, and then you've got Trump over here being like, does anybody still care about Jeffrey Epstein? And then Pam Bondi is asked the question, was he working for another country? And she says, we don't know, right? You don't know? So in my series, I'm like, maybe we can help them. Maybe we can help the deep state figure out who Jeffrey Epstein was working for. Here is Ari Ben-Menashe, who was a Mossad agent, who is on record, literally recorded. Let's listen to him tell us about how Jeffrey Epstein was working for the Mossad. Okay, Ari Ben-Menashe worked for Mossad, and he's saying that Robert Maxwell brought him to Jeffrey Epstein and said, let this guy in. He's going to be involved in weapons. Hey, Pam Bondi, you might have missed this one. Okay, you might have missed this one. Then you go to another person who is on record, who is Victor Ostrovsky, who defected from the Mossad notoriously. The Mossad admits he worked for the Mossad. He wrote a book, By Deception or By Deception Only. He says that's the Mossad motto, which they obviously do that. That's why they execute all these false flags. And he told everybody the truth. He has said Jeffrey Epstein was working with us. So for whatever reason, Candace Owens is able to determine whether or not Jeffrey Epstein might have been working for another state. But Pam Bondi, they're just going to have to keep surmising about whether or not Jeffrey Epstein, who is with Ghislaine Maxwell, her father being Robert Maxwell. One of the biggest lies, by the way, that's told, and I debunked this in our first or our third Epstein episode, is the idea that, Robert Maxwell, they admit he was a Mossad agent, but Epstein didn't know him. The story they try to tell now and fashion to the public is like Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein met after her dad was dead. That's just false. Again, Ari Ben-Menashe tells a story of being brought into the office and being told that Epstein was going to be brought in. This was the Iran-Contra scandal. So since the 80s, Jeffrey Epstein has been working for Israel. I don't know how I know that, and Trump and Pam Bondi don't, but they got to bring me in. Like, I might have some evidence here, right? It's like, so we're getting to a point now.
You're going to have tough confirmation hearings.
I just want them to say F you. Like, if seriously, that would feel better at this point if they just came out and said, F you, na boo boo, you can't touch us, we rule over you, ha ha. That would feel at least authentic. Going back to the Taylor Lorenz thing, I'd be like, I really don't like that, but at least it's authentic and I know you mean it and it's true.
All totally fair.
Yeah.
does any of, I mean, to the extent that we can project forward and guess, does any of this come out? I mean, to a greater extent than it has? I mean, is there ever like a public resolution of this story?
No, because Israel's controlling our government. So no, the answer is no. Trump is powerless against him. We haven't had, I don't think we've been a sovereign nation since they shot JFK. And when I say they, it's like people online say, what do you mean by they? I'm talking about Israel. I don't want you guys to read in between. I'm talking about Israel. So let's stop making that a taboo subject because they've gone mask down. Everything they're doing is demonic. I want nothing to do with it. I will never support Israel into the future after what they've done to these children. The starvation campaign. I don't care. Please write your article. You've already written them all. I don't know what you could add about me. But I do not support Israel. Jeez. And I don't think that Jewish Americans should support Israel. And I hope that they're now having those conversations. I see many of them recognizing that they have been propagandized into believing they have to support this demonic state. And that's in large part thanks to their birthright trip. Yeah, that mask down moment for Jonathan Greenblatt of the ADL when he got caught on the hot mic, it was released. He didn't know that he was being recorded. And he's like saying that they've got to get TikTok under control. He's like, we have a generational issue with TikTok. We need to do something about this like what we did with birthright. What does that tell you? That the entire purpose of that birthright trip, telling every Jewish American, you forget a free trip to Israel, was to propagandize you into believing that you have some affinity with this made-up country in the Middle East, like in 1948, that you have to, react when something's happening to them, or you have to look away when they're doing things that are so obviously wrong and demonic. And so I'm hoping now that we're getting to that point where people can recognize that whether you're Black, you don't have to agree with BLM. Whether you're Jew, allowing your identity to shape your morality is problematic, okay? And Israel, in and of itself, is a demonic nation. I will never support Israel, right? So I went from working for PragerU to I will never support Israel. So that's how much the scales have fallen from my eyes about what they are involved in. And if this isn't your wake-up call to just look at the footage of what they are doing, they're playing Hunger Games and throwing food at them and then killing people and seeing who survives. It's just at your fingertips. You have to take a look at what Israel is doing.
So
your point.
What you guys think about that? Like, how do you feel about that clip? It really touched me in a way because Candace Owens, she's somebody that I didn't like starting off. I'm not really heavy into politics or things like that, but well, sort of. But I used to be against Channel 5 news and things like that. But all of these news networks and all of these news channels, they each have a way that they lean when it comes to being Democratic or being Republican. And so they slight you from different ways and give you certain perceptions about each other. And Tucker Carlson is one of them as well. I never thought I'd see the day where I'm sitting here just digesting so many hours of information from the two of them, but also Piers Morgan as well. But I find myself sitting there and I'm taking in information that they're giving out. And I think it's partly because Candace Owens especially, she is a shark. She is a shark on land. I've seen her in many debates and not many people can corral this stallion. She is different. She is different. And she does her research. She's very thorough with it. And so she tries to provide facts. And most of the time when she comes, she's going to have receipts. Do not come at Candace. Do not. If you come at her, please have your shit together. Sorry, this is a family show. Please have your stuff together. But back on the topic. How did you feel about what she said about Israel as pertaining to, the same thing we've been talking about, the connection that they have with America, and for how many years we've been siding with them and just watching them just commit all of these atrocities and commit all of these murders and leaving kids dead on the street, things like that. A woman the other day, her baby died because she died, and the baby died during the C-section. So, man, it gets real. I saw these two people tag team together, and I was all for it. I'm not gonna lie. Watching Tucker, he's so innocent and so genuine, and just have genuine questions. And then watching Candace, who is just so studied and so methodic, and making sure that everything is straight when she gives you the information, made for a good interview. So I wanted to give it to you guys. I'm a little bit late today, but I'm still here. I made sure I delivered. I made sure I delivered it for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I made sure that I came with the sauce. I forgot to have the music on, man. Yesterday I had it on too loud, but it kind of soothes you and it gets you into a different zone when you put that music on. Happy Friday. I don't want to do too much ranting today. It was a long day. Once again, meditate, take time out for yourself. Take some time out to make sure that you connecting with the super conscious. Everything is about consciousness and rising and being better. So even when I give you this information, this is not for controversy. The thumbnails might seem like that. But the algorithm, and what makes people click on these things. So I'm just trying to get in the algorithm. Now, if you like and you subscribe, I won't have to keep doing that. But until then, we're going to keep running it up. I appreciate the views and the watches, the likes, everything is going up a lot. And let's keep doing it. Let's keep going. So it's your boy, the worthy one, never the two. How can I be two when I'm number one? Hottest under the sun. You know how I go. But we're going to get out of here. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to catch up with you guys tomorrow. I might give you a 2-for-1 tomorrow. We're going to have some more content going on. So with that being said, man, enjoy your weekend with your friends and family. Keep love in front of you. Keep God first. You know what I'm saying? If not, keep family first. If you atheist, keep yourself first. Believe in you. As long as you believe in yourself and you trying to make a special impact on this world. I don't care what you do. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like the bad energy. So let's try to keep it positive. And with that being said, we're going to slide on out of here. It's your boy, the worthy one. We out.